I said in one of my previous videos that Alien Isolation is 4 out of 10 difficulty, 25 hours platinum trophy. Let's just say, I strongly disagree now. I started my journey by doing a blind playthrough on a hard difficulty. After waking up from the hypersleep, I successfully made my way to the Sevastopol station where most of the game takes place. Immediately after getting there, the game made it clear that something went terribly wrong in that place. I tried to find my way out, but managed to get lost in one of the first areas of the game for around 20 minutes. Now, I could have looked up a guide, but I didn't. I was trying to avoid using guides on my first playthrough. I guess I was just being stubborn. After finally finding my way out, I've got my first weapon in the game, and I should probably mention that I was also going for not killing any humans and initially thought about combining it with no death playthrough as well. That is, until I encountered my first enemies. I was trying to get by this section and failing over and over and over again, and reloading saves every time was getting tedious, so I said, enough is enough, I'll just do another playthrough for no death run. Just so you know, it only took me an hour to get by this section successfully. Was it because this section is hard? Hell no, I was just really bad at this game, and on hard difficulty you get spotted almost immediately and die in just a couple of shots. What I failed to recognize though is that in this game, if you are behind an object, you can glitch yourself into it and your enemies won't spot you. Sometimes. That was a game changer for me. With a newly found confidence, I pressed on, and it was going well all the way until I got to mission 5. This is one of the first missions when you are constantly getting stalked by the alien, and if he spots you, it's pretty much game over at this stage. You can hide, but you can't run, he's much faster than you. Also, there's almost no checkpoints in this game, so the manual save spots were my lifelines all this playthrough. I was trying to hop between them and progress a little every single time, but it was not going well. Mission 5 alone took me 2.5 hours to complete in a span of 2 days. After finishing it and having my sign of relief and starting Mission 6, my confidence was crushed once again when I found out that it was actually even harder. A thing I discovered about this game is the alien is completely unpredictable. Yes, there are a few scripted sections, but most of the time he will do something different every single checkpoint preset. Now, the way I usually play those types of games is I'll try over and over and over again until I find a path that works. Not so useful in this game now, is it? After literally spending 3 hours there, I took 3 days break from the game, and after getting back to it, I beat it on my second attempt, which of course I didn't record because I'm a professional. I was finally feeling better, and I even decided to have some fun and use the alien to kill some of my human enemies, which doesn't count as my kills. Some people would say that it's a voluntary manslaughter, but the game says it doesn't count, so it works for me. Also, my stealth skills were getting better as I managed to sneak by all the androids like a pro on my first try. Well, almost. Following this success, I made it to the next section, and after cutscene I took some fire damage by accident and had this brilliant idea of killing myself to avoid it, but the game trolled me, and of course there wasn't a checkpoint after the cutscene, so I had to waste another 20 minutes getting back there. I have to say though, the real MVP of this playthrough is Ripley's legs. I was pretty much moving in this game exclusively by crouch walking, and let's just say, she will never need a leg day again. Honestly, after this section I finally started feeling better about my skills. I think that the learning curve was finally kicking in. I managed to epically stealth by all the humans, discovering range struts and make it to the sheriff station. In the sheriff station I got my flamethrower and things were looking up. Now if I got into a pickle I could use it to fight off the alien, but there was a small caveat to that. On hard difficulty resources are pretty scarce, and same goes for flamethrower ammo. I had to be very smart on where to use it because there are sections in the game where it's absolutely necessary. In the next section I met a bunch of androids, and after dying to them way too many times I thought to myself, what would Steve Jobs do? And smash those androids to bits with a range. Yes, I did waste precious resources, but damn was it satisfying to finally fight back. I was really thinking that I was on track to beating this game at this point. There was still a small problem though. For the life of me I just couldn't get past mission 14, because in that mission there is not one but 2 aliens stalking you, and I just kept attracting them. Yeah, being attractive is a blessing and a curse. After failing over and over again, I looked up a smoke bomb strat, and it was an eye-opening moment for me. Who would have thought that using in-game items could help you beat it easier? I mean, I am stubborn and I did try to avoid using guides, but there is a finite amount of patience one man can have. After mission 14 it was pretty straightforward for me, and I finally finished my first playthrough that took me about 24 hours of playtime. The next stage was simple. I needed to get all the 50 ID tags and 10 Nostromo logs, as I did get the 100 necessary archive logs by just exploring, and I was still missing a couple of miscellaneous trophies. I switched my difficulty to Novice and started following a guide. The thing is, I couldn't find a guide that would lead me to all the collectibles by backtracking, so I had to redo some of the missions to get them. I thought it would be quick and easy, but it was actually pretty annoying. First of all, yes, I was on the easiest difficulty at this point, but even then you still need to avoid the alien because he will insta-kill you regardless of difficulty. That means no sprinting. Other enemies are not an issue, but the moment you use any loud weapons on them or they use them on you will bring the alien out of the vents, so the collectible run was a pain and it took me another 7 hours to get all of them. Now, there were still 2 miscellaneous trophies that I was missing. Until this point I didn't kill any humans and I needed to kill 10 of them for self-defense trophy. Because I'm not a monster, I decided that I will do it in the most humane way possible, by burning them alive with a flamethrower. The second one was this game's notorious force fail trophy for getting killed by an alien 100 times, and a lot of people claim that this trophy is a grind. Not me. At this point I died to the alien about 90 times already without even trying, because I'm just that good at this game, so I knocked it out of the way in just a few minutes. The last thing left to do was to finish the game without dying, but it was actually incredibly easy for me. All I did was save on every save point twice, and if I died I would just reload the previous save, rinse and repeat. It was a bit annoying because you can only save every minute and a half, so I did spend a lot of time waiting around, but this playthrough was a cakewalk compared to my previous run. Don't get me wrong, I still died a bunch of times, even on the easiest difficulty, but it was pretty straightforward and I finished it in 11 hours of playtime and finally got my Platinum Trophy. I spent around 45 hours getting the Platinum Trophy in this game, and I have to say I had a ton of fun while doing so. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who loves survival horror games because the experience this game provides is truly unique. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to me as I make gaming and trophy hunting content at least once a week. Thank you for watching.